changing out the alternator. Our alternator right now, we believe some of the diodes, I think that's what they're called, pooped out on us. You are going to be joining us in a team effort in switching out the alternator. So the first thing is Ryan helped me to identify some of the bolts.
So first, do you see the pivot that the alternator can sort of rotate on?
Is that a pivot on top? Or you mean...
Is there a pivot on the bottom too?
Or is it the one that's in the middle where the...
A pivot is something on which the entire thing can rotate, right?
Yeah, I see it.
Now, let's look at the electrical shit. How many sets of wires do you see? Some of them have multiple wires?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to keep those wires together and you have to make sure that you know which ones go where. Don't screw that up, because otherwise it's a big, super pain in the ass to figure out.
I'll label that right now. I did take a couple pictures of where the wires go so I don't get it confused, but what I'm also doing is I'm labeling. I'm going to call this one top, and then this is going to be starboard, and the other one is going to be port. Then I won't get confused and I will know which wire goes where and not screw anything up. So let me continue doing that.
Don't bend the ring terminals.
Okay,
Stop. Which way are you trying to turn the bolt?
I want to untighten it, so I'm going this way.
No.
Why? Because I'm facing backwards? Ah, fuck. See? Teamwork, that's why. Aha. Thank you, babe. So I don't get confused, you guys will be with starboard. Our 300 amp is off.
See which order they're in? That's important too.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Okay, last teeny tiny wire is off. Now it's time to actually get the alternator off.
Okay, loosen but don't remove everything on the pivot.
The top pivot or the down here?
You can't have two pivots because the pivot is the part that stays still and then the alternator rotates around the pivot.
So this top one is the pivot.
Which way are you gonna go?
This way.
Okay.
And it's gonna be pretty tough, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh yeah!
Before you do this,
Yeah.
feel the tension of the belt. Do you know where to feel it?
Up here and
The
down
center
below.
of the longest part.
Okay.
Get an idea for how far it pushes in.
Okay. So I'm gonna go this way. Ha! That was way better. Socket wrench, much better.
So go ahead and take that off.
Okay, taking it off.
Make sure you remember where it is.
Oh, and this other piece stays on? That it's connected to? That shoots out kind of...
The piece that's pushing on it,
Yeah,
don't take that off. It's not attached, nothing.
correct.
So don't take that apart.
Okay,
And by the way, you're not supposed to turn it unless you're keeping track of how many turns you do.
well I just turned it.
I'm aware of that.
We're switching out because I was getting confused with one of the other nuts or bolts or whatever on the alternator, so.
Did I get all of them off that was supposed to be off?
No. It's literally exactly how I described it.
But it's not attached to the actual alternator, it's attached
Yes, it
to a
is.
black bracket thing, right?
No, it goes through a black bracket. There's a little arm that attaches it to the alternator.
I didn't know that it was actually attached anywhere to the alternator.
Because you didn't check.
You skipped a wire.
Where?
I need a screwdriver Phillips.
We've switched back again. Apparently I have a messy workstation and he needs some of these tools.
Are you switching out this with this?
Not exactly, but part of it.
And we're stuck. We do not have a long, skinny 7mm socket wrench to get these teeny tiny, where are they? Guys out. Right there. It's like the only tool we don't have. And it's Sunday, so nothing's open. Just got back from our neighbor boat, French boat. I hate it when he does that. Ew. And guess what? They have a 7mm socket wrench. He just gave me actually the whole thing. So that means we're going to put a bottle of wine in the fridge to bring over as a thank we'll make sure to add that to our purchase list when we get back to Papeete at some point. Now Ryan is, well, you explain it.
I am taking out bolts.
Honey! Our old alternator, Ryan switched out this Balmer, I call it a little smart guy, and it helps to regulate the alternator.
The original regulator was unregulated. It was kind of like the one in your car, it's just sort of on or off. And we wanted to make it have a profile, like you can control the charging profile. And that's it. So this is an OEM, this is like an original, and this is the modified, and we're just switching it out.
I got relieved of my engine duties for today to reinstall the now new alternator, because Ryan wants to get this done. and then I don't screw things up.
You won't necessarily screw things up.
I know, but...
Hand me my glasses.
Okay, your glasses.
Alternator, please.
Okay. There you go. He's not in a very good mood. He didn't really want to do this today, but it was something that needed to be done eventually. And I thought, well, there's cloud coverage. It's a little bit cooler out, and it's supposed to rain tomorrow. It would be a really good chance to do this. And I said, I'll go down there and I'll take it off, and then you do your switcheroony magic stuff with the Balmer charge controller thingy, and then I'll put it back in. But it took me so long to get that damn thing out that Ryan was just like losing his patience. He's like, I'm going down there, I'm gonna be done with this. So every screw gets a little bit of grease on it as well, and then of course any electrical stuff will get some dielectric grease. This was reading by now up to 2,000 RPMs while we were still not even in gear, just in idle. And it's not moving all over the place. That's a good sign. And then, well, you're gonna rev it up a little bit, right? 19 amps, 20 amps, 52, 60, 70, 80, yeah, it keeps going, 90, 93, 95. Okay.
Hang on.
Still changing. 95, 97, 98. 98.4 was the highest.
Sounds like it's slipping or something. Come here and I need you to fast idle it to 2.
Okay, we're at 2,000.
23.
23.
18.
18. Just checking to see if all is good with the belt. 1,000.
Feel like there's a noise that wasn't there before?
Like a higher pitch noise?
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. Does the new alternator have to break in or something?
Tell me if you smell something in there.
Okay. Like a sweeter smell.
Yeah.
What the hell could that be? Is that coming from a new alternator?
Does the smell really strong?
No. I thought at first maybe it was from just both of us being in there and us being sweaty. And I'm so sweet. I still smell it. It smells like almost new furniture.
I'm gonna shut down.
Okay.
I'd like you to go in there without burning yourself on the engine
Okay.
and touch the belts. Tell me if the belts are hot.
Okay. Yeah, it's warm but not super hot. Both of them are warm, the small one too.
Okay, Nicole, is
What?
it hot?
I can hold on to it, I can touch it. It's warm, it's not super hot.
Is it uncomfortable?
No.
You've never touched the belt before after the engine's been running?
No. Why would I?
Can you inspect the alternator itself, please, and tell me if you see anything that looks burnt? Is the belt touching the cover anywhere?
No.
Is the alternator hot?
Yeah?
Hot or just...
It's like I wouldn't keep my finger on it. Is that normal?
Yeah. I'm just gonna assume that it's the new alternator breaking in.
Okay. All right, any suggestions? Any of you mechanic people out there? Have you ever had kind of like a sweet smell when you put in a new alternator? If you liked this episode, this instructional episode or teamwork-ish episode, we'd love it if you'd give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe and don't forget to click on that little notification bell so that you get to know when we have a new episode out.
Boats suck.
Ryan's on his boat suck.